Hi, boys and girls. This is our third and last read of The New Friend. And when we're done, guess what? We're done with the whole book. All right, so I have some questions for you at the end. So just remember, though, for the questions, that this is realistic fiction. That means the characters in the story, the mom and dad and all these boys, they act like real people. And they do things that real people would do. And Maria Puncer wrote the story. She's from Spain. It was translated into English, and Ed Martinez, his dad was an artist, and he first began drawing horses. That's how he got his start. So now we shall read the story. Are you ready? Put your finger underneath the word. Each time you read a story, you become more fluent. So I'm glad you're here. See how many words you know today. Begin. The New Friend. Martín, Luis, and I lived in the city. Next door was an old house. No one had lived there for a long time. One day, a work crew came with pails and brushes. They started to wash and paint the empty house. After they were done and the paint had dried, the house looked pretty and new. The next day, a big truck pulled up. It was full of crates and boxes. A crew unloaded the boxes off the truck. A new family would soon live there. Today, Luis went over to the house next door. He met a boy called Makoto. Then we all met Makoto. Makoto was 7 years old, just like us. Before long, we found out that Makoto played soccer. He could keep running and running. He was good at learning things, too. He learned all of our names by the end of the game. Soon, Makoto's family was all moved in. We met his mother and father. They were glad that Makoto had made some new friends. While Makoto's mother and father went to buy food, Makoto stayed and played with us. When Makoto's mother and father rejoined us, Martín, Makoto, and I helped them carry the bags into the house. Makoto said he would show us around his house. Then we went up to look at Makoto's room. Makoto still had a lot of boxes to unpack. He had some nice toys and kites. He said that on the next windy day, we could bring his kites outside and fly them. He said I could fly a kite by myself. Then we went outside to look at Makoto's pictures from Japan. These are the pictures. He had them in a green book. On the first page, we saw Makoto's old house in Japan. On the next page, we saw Makoto's family in Japan. The last page had pictures of Makoto's friends. They showed Makoto's 7th birthday party. Makoto said he wishes we could meet his old friends. At the end of the day, Makoto's mother and father repaid us for helping with cookies. We said please and thank you and ate up. Makoto's father said he had a new job in the city. Makoto would be going to our school. We were all glad about that. He has a nice mom and dad. We said goodbye to Makoto and his mother and father. Then we went home to our families. We were glad to have a new friend next door. Okay, so where does the author Maria Puncer live? Do you remember? Do you remember where she lives? Was it Mexico? Was it Spain? Or is it California? She lives in Spain. You don't see her picture, but she does live in Spain. So Ed Martinez is the illustrator, right? As a boy, what did he like to draw? Dogs, dinosaurs, or horses? Horses! So what genre is the story? Is it realistic fiction, fantasy, or informational text? It's realistic fiction. It could really happen. So what's the setting for this story? That means where did it happen? A farm, a schoolyard, or a neighborhood? It happened in a neighborhood. What were the men doing at the beginning of the story? Hey, that's not a man. They should have said, what is the crew doing? What was the crew doing? Were they building a house, washing and painting a house, or were they taking boxes off of the truck? They were washing and painting a house. So the character who tells the story is, well, I'll just tell you this one. He's the narrator. The person who's telling the story is the narrator of the story. So what's the new boy's name? Do you remember? Let's see. Do you remember what his name was? Was it Martin, Luis, or Makoto? Makoto. His name is Makoto. What game did they play? Did they play soccer, marbles, or baseball? Soccer! What country did Makoto move from? Do you remember? Was it China, Japan, or Mexico? He moved from Japan. So which of these statements is not true about Makoto and the narrator? They are both 7. Is that not true? They like the same toys. Is that not true? Or they are both from Japan. Is that not true? The thing that's not true about Makoto and the person telling this story is that they are both from Japan. Because the narrator wasn't from Japan. He was from this other city in America. So how did Makoto's parents repay the boys? Did they give them cookies? Did they give them money? Did they take them to the movies? They gave them cookies. And where were the boys at the end of the story? Were they at the park? Did they go to their own homes? Or were they at Makoto's house? It says, then we went home to our families. So last thing they did was go home to their family. So that was 2. They were in their own homes. Okay, boys and girls, that was our last read. We're never going to see this book again. And just one more book to read before we're second graders. This is our 5th textbook. We just finished it. One more textbook with 5 stories. We're done with first grade. You'll know how to read. Thank you for practicing. Bye-bye.